Claire had always known that Michael loved attention. He was the type of man who loved to be the loudest in the room, the one whose jokes everyone laughed at, and whose stories people listened to even when they didn't care. But Claire never thought that one day, she would become the butt of his jokes, just so he could impress his friends. Before we continue, please show a little kindness by subscribing to the channel. Also like and drop a comment if you enjoyed the video. Thank you. They had been dating for 3 years, and in those 3 years, Claire had been his backbone. When Michael lost his job, it was Claire who paid his rent. When his car broke down, Claire took taxis to work just so he could have her car. She wasn't rich, but she did everything out of love because she believed in him. They talked about marriage, about kids, about building a future together. She had no idea that to Michael, she was just a convenience until something better came along. One Saturday afternoon, Michael invited Claire to hang out with his friends at a lounge. He said it was just a casual get-together, nothing fancy. Claire didn't dress up much, just a simple dress and flat sandals. But when she arrived, she immediately felt out of place. All the other women were dressed like they were going to a red carpet event, high heels, heavy makeup, expensive bags. Michael's male friends were loud, drinking and talking about their latest business deals, bragging about the cars they just bought. Claire felt small, but she stayed quiet. She smiled, greeted everyone politely, and sat beside Michael. But Michael barely acknowledged her. He was too busy trying to impress his friends. Every time Claire tried to join the conversation, he'd brush her off or make a sarcastic comment about how she wouldn't understand business talks. But the worst came when one of Michael's friends, a guy named Kevin, asked Michael, "So when are you making this one your wife?" Kevin nodded towards Claire, smiling in a teasing way. Instead of answering with pride or defending her, Michael laughed loudly. "Wife? This one? Nah, she's still on probation, man. She's lucky I even bring her out with us. You know me, I have standards." The whole table erupted in laughter. Claire felt like someone had just poured ice water on her. Her heart raced, her face burned, but she forced a smile. She couldn't let them see how much it hurt. She sat there, quiet, for the rest of the evening as Michael continued to act like she was invisible. That night, as he drove her home, Claire didn't say a word. She stared out the window, replaying his words in her head. Probation. Lucky to be with him. She had never felt so humiliated in her life. Michael noticed her silence but didn't care enough to apologize. He dropped her off at her apartment, gave her a half-hearted talk later, and drove off without waiting for her response. Claire went inside, sat on her couch, and cried. But as the tears flowed, something inside her shifted. She had spent years building up a man who didn't respect her. She had allowed him to use her kindness as a weakness. That night, Claire made a decision. She was done being the girl who people laughed at. The next morning, she called her friend Lisa, who had always been blunt about Michael's attitude. Lisa had her own business consulting company, and she had been begging Claire to leave her boring office job and work with her. Claire had always hesitated, but now she was ready. "Lisa, is the offer still open?" Claire asked. "Of course, babe. Are you ready to boss up?" Claire smiled through her sore eyes. "More than ever." In the following months, Claire worked harder than she ever had in her life. Lisa mentored her, trained her on business strategy, public speaking, and brand building. Claire learned how to negotiate deals, how to present herself with confidence, and most importantly, how to never allow anyone to make her feel small again. Her transformation wasn't overnight. There were days she doubted herself, nights she cried from exhaustion, but she kept pushing. Within 6 months, she was managing high-profile clients, organizing corporate events, and earning more than she ever did in her previous job. She started getting invited to networking events, business conferences, and even featured in a local magazine as one of the top rising businesswomen in the city. Michael, on the other hand, was struggling. His business deals were falling through, his big plans were not materializing, and the same friends he had tried so hard to impress were now too busy for him. Slowly, his flashy lifestyle began to crumble. One evening, Claire was attending a corporate gala at a 5-star hotel. She wore a sleek black gown, her hair styled to perfection, her confidence radiating in every step. She was no longer the quiet girl sitting awkwardly at a table, afraid to speak. She was now the woman people wanted to meet, the one whose opinion mattered. As she mingled, laughing with influential people, she felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned around, and there stood Michael. He looked different, tired, stressed, and slightly embarrassed. He forced a smile, pretending to be casual. "Claire, wow, you look amazing," he said, as if they were old friends catching up. Claire smiled politely. "Michael, good to see you. How have you been?" Michael shifted awkwardly. Just pushing through. Actually, I was hoping we could talk sometime. Maybe catch up properly. I've missed you." Claire knew exactly what this was. He had seen her glow up, heard about her success, and now he wanted back in. But she wasn't that naive girl anymore. "Oh, that's sweet of you, Michael. But I'm not sure what we'd talk about. You see, I've graduated from probation." She smiled, her words sharp but calm. Michael chuckled nervously. "Claire, come on. Don't be like that. You know we had something special." She tilted her head, pretending to think. "Special? You mean like the time you told your friends I was lucky to be with you? Or the time you made me feel invisible at that lounge?" Michael's face flushed. He tried to laugh it off, but his charm had no power here. "Look, Claire, I messed up. I was stupid, immature. But look at you now. You're doing amazing. I always knew you had it in you." Claire's smile never wavered. "You didn't know anything, Michael. You saw me as a convenience, not a person. But thank you. You taught me a valuable lesson." Michael's facade finally broke. "Claire, please, can we just start over? I've changed. I swear. I need someone like you in my life." Claire leaned in slightly, lowering her voice but keeping her gaze steady. "The problem, Michael, is that you want a woman who will make you look good in front of your friends. I'm not that woman anymore. I'm not here to build a man who doesn't know his own worth." Michael's shoulders slumped. His confident posture from months ago was gone. The man who once humiliated her now stood there, practically begging. As she turned to leave, Michael reached out gently. "Claire, please, I'm sorry. Don't do this." Claire paused and looked him dead in the eye. "Michael, you didn't lose me because of one mistake. You lost me because you never valued me when you had me. Now, I'm not coming back. Ever." She walked away without looking back. The same girl he had humiliated in front of his friends was now the woman who made him crawl back, desperate and invisible in a room where she was now the star.